They gave us a call from Blood Mountain right about 4 p.m. and said they believe they'd be down to the Gap about 6. So heading up that way right now. Going to meet them, and it's a beautiful evening. It's 57 degrees. The moon is huge and it's almost full, so I'm excited about that. It's really beautiful, and it's just been a really pretty day. So anyways, I'm moving on to Neil Gap and the riders going back to Amicalola. All right, I'll be back later. All right, so I just dropped off the riders here at Amicalola Falls State Park and got them back to their vehicle, and now they're going to be on their way out of here. And now I am heading back to Blairsville. I'm going to call it a day and get rested up. Big day tomorrow, and I want to be ready for it. So anyways, heading back to Blairsville, Georgia. Everybody, it is a gorgeous morning here in Blairsville. It is Wednesday, November 5th, 2025, and right now it's 36 degrees, and I am heading out to meet some riders, and I'm going to be getting down to the airport. So that's what I'm doing at the moment. After that, I'll be heading up to NOC to continue on with my day. But look at the sky and look at the sun coming up and everything in the mountains. It's just beautiful. So I'll be back later. It's going to be a gorgeous day. All right, I've made my way out here now to Track Rock Gap Road in Blairsville, getting really close to the riders, getting them down to Hartsfield-Jackson Airport in Atlanta. Now, these riders are not hikers going to and from the trail. They are local residents that we've been shuttling to the airport now and back for several years. Really awesome people. Glad I'm getting to see them again this morning. I enjoy their company, and I'm going to get them down to Atlanta. All right, I'll be back a bit later. It's 40 degrees here in Blairsville right now with blue skies, sunshine. Gorgeous day. I hope everybody enjoys it, and I'll be back in a bit. All right, I'm out here at Hartsfield-Jackson Airport in Atlanta. Just got the riders dropped off at the South Terminal, which is Delta, and now I'm on my way out of here. We've got a lot of construction going on down here. They're building new parking garages. But anyways, I am now making my way up to the NOC, which is the Nantahala Outdoor Center. So that's up in North Carolina, and I'm continuing my way up there. Next riders are going to be at 3:30, or if they're delayed a little bit, somewhere in that time frame. They told me they would keep contact with me today, and I'm going to get them up to Fontana Dam. After that, I have riders at Fontana Dam that might be a little early today, which is awesome. They kept good contact too, so that's what we have going on. I'm going to get them over to Deep Gap, North Carolina. All right, it's a gorgeous day down here in Atlanta. Blue sky, sunshine, and 69 degrees. I will be back a bit later. All right, I've made it onto the highway from the airport, and it is 160 miles and a 3-hour drive to the Nantahala Outdoor Center in North Carolina. I'm going to be meeting the riders up there a little bit later on this afternoon, but I'm in no rush, have plenty of time, and just enjoying the drive. So that's where I'm heading right now. I should arrive up there somewhere between 2:15 and 3 o'clock because I'll be making some stops. But other than that, absolutely gorgeous day. So looking forward to getting up there and going to Fontana Dam after. All right, I'll be back a bit later. All right, as I'm driving up here now, I'm getting closer to the city itself, and once I get some clearance from this truck, you'll be able to see the city up ahead of me. So right now, traffic is flowing fairly smoothly as I make my way, but it is, still pretty busy down here. It is Atlanta, so people are at work already and everything, so it's a little kinder than other times of day. All right, I was glad I was able to take the Peach Pass toll down this morning, because we would probably maybe just arriving at the airport now, there were several miles of traffic backed up coming down into the city. So very grateful for that. And just continuing to make my way. Once I get up through the city and we hit the split, should be fairly decent driving after that. Hopefully, because it is Atlanta. You never know. But anyways, continuing on. So far I've made my way up here to Jasper, Georgia from the airport in Atlanta. I'm heading to Nantahala Outdoor Center in North Carolina, or the NOC as it's known. And I'm going to be stopping right up here in Jasper for about 15 minutes. I'm going to stop at a store real quick and then I'm going to keep on rolling. So it's a long day of many miles. So I'm going to get out of the car and stretch for a little bit and everything as I continue my way to the next riders of the day. Get them up to Fontana Dam, and then I'll wait a little bit after that, and I'll get the next riders right there at Fontana going to Deep Gap. All right, lots of excitement. It's a beautiful day out here. It's 73 degrees right now here in Jasper with blue skies and sunshine. All right, I'll be back a bit later. I'm back, and so far I've made my way up to LJ, and you can see the mountains now showing up in the distance. I still have a bit of a ways to go until I reach the NOC. I won't get there until about 10 minutes before 3, but it's a long ride coming up out of Atlanta, but I'm continuing to make my way, and we have a beautiful day. It is 70 degrees here in LJ, Georgia, with blue skies and sunshine. Anyways, I'm continuing on to NOC. And I have noticed as I've come up from Atlanta, the highest temperature we had down there was 75. But, you know, every time I continue north, I look at the thermometer and it continues to drop as I get back up in the mountains. All right, beautiful day. I'll be back a bit later. All right, I'm over here in Murphy, North Carolina. It's a gorgeous day. It's 71 degrees right here. And blue skies and sunshine. I'm still continuing on to the NOC, and it's 45 minutes and about 35 miles. Stopped and filled up gas, and I got myself a coffee at Dunkin', so I can keep on chugging along. All right, it's a gorgeous day, and I can't wait to get up to NOC and then on to Fontana Dam and Deep Gap. Okay, it's beautiful out. Hope everybody's enjoying it. I'm making my way towards NOC still. I will arrive there at 3:05. My 3:30 people are already there, so that's super awesome. We'll get them all scooped up and we'll head out to Fontana Dam. I had contact with my person that's going to be at Fontana Dam going to Deep Gap, and they are actually going to be arriving at the moment at 4:30. So I should be able to scoop them up right about 4:30, 4:40 or so, and get them on out to Deep Gap. So everybody's running on time, or actually earlier today, so that's fantastic. And we'll all get where we need to go earlier. All right, it's a gorgeous day, as you can see here. Continuing on now to NOC. Center at Fontana Dam and pick up the folks that are going to Deep Gap. So everything worked out really well. People are early and on time, obviously. So moving people around, getting them where they need to go so they can enjoy the beauty of their hike. It's 70 degrees here right now as I make my way down into the Nantahala Gorge and the NOC. Beautiful day. All right, I've made it down here to the NOC, really close to the general store where I'm going to be meeting the riders this afternoon. I'm going to get them loaded up, and we are going to be on our way to Fontana Dam. After that, I'll just scoot over to the visitor center, scoop up the riders that are going out to Deep Gap, and I'll get them over there. So really nice. So anyways, coming upon the NOC, or the Nantahala Outdoor Center, and I'm going to pull in and find the riders, and we will be on our way. It's a beautiful day, and it's 66 degrees here. I made it to Fontana Dam with the first group of riders from NOC. I dropped them up at the top overlook. They're going to walk down to the shelter where they're going to stay the night, and then they're going to get up in the morning and walk back to their vehicle at NOC over the weekend. Now I'm heading down to the visitor center here at Fontana. My 7 p.m. had texted earlier and said they're going to be here by 4:30. So that's wonderful. And we'll head out to Deep Gap and get them over there. It's almost a 2-hour drive. When I get out there, I'm going to rest my eyes a bit before going home. Anyways, here we have Fontana Dam, the dam itself, the lake, and the Smoky Mountains. So gorgeous view right now. It's beautiful out here. 67 degrees. I'm going to wait for the riders to show up. I'll be back later. Alright, I'm out here at Deep Gap, mile 85 north of Springer Mountain on the Appalachian Trail. And I just dropped off the riders that I picked up at Fontana Dam and got them down here. So I'm heading back now to Blairsville, and I'll be back later. It's 51 degrees down here, and the moon is super beautiful tonight. Alright, I'll be back in a bit. Alright, I'm still continuing out of Deep Gap, and the moon is full. You can see it sometimes as I go around the corners. Really pretty.